Wow. So this is my first time going to a beauty school academy. These aren't professional people. They're students who are training to become professional people. They help do with hair, makeup, nails, facials. I went to this beauty academy called VR Beauty Academy. I got a little brochure here. But basically, it's located inside the Puente Hills Mall. And I went when it first opened at 1 p.m. The opening hours for the student practice is from 1 to 5 p.m. So I went in at 1 p.m. So there was a family in front of me and they had two little kids. They went in and they wanted the kid to have a haircut. I was surprised, but this beauty academy is all Chinese people. Like, I'm talking about mainland Chinese people. They're like speaking mostly in Mandarin. So then the guests in front of me were speaking in English and they're like, oh, I want my son to have a haircut. And then, they're talking back and forth and they're like, oh, we don't do cuts less than 8 years old. And then the mom was like, oh, but I brought my son here last time to cut it. So anyways, they said no, they didn't do it for people under 8 years old. And they were a little bit rude because, I don't know, Chinese people are a little bit, they don't have the best manners, I would say. So they asked me, okay, how can I help you? And I was like, oh, okay, I want to do gel manicure and gel pedicure. The person asked me that sounded disappointed because yes, he was like a student that wanted to do hair related stuff. So he had to like walk all the way in the back to ask the people in the nails, like, oh, if they wanted to do me. And then so he was like, okay, follow me. So then I was really deceived by the store because in the front, it looks like, okay, it's just the room and there's a lot of like mostly hair equipment and whatnot. But if you go all the way in back, it's like tunnels. It's like in the back part of the Puente Hills Mall that most usual people don't have access to. It's like where they do the trash or the mail. So like I had to walk all the way back and there's like a giant room and there's like different classrooms and it's for, I guess, the facial people and for the nail people. So then they told me to sit down. So there was the instructor. She was very friendly, very nice. She just told me to sit down and probably like 5 to 6 like nail students. They're kind of asked me, oh, do I speak Mandarin? And I'm not the most fluent, so I was like, oh, not really, no. They mostly spoke with me in English, which is good, I guess, because I could hear what they're gossiping about or like what they're saying behind my back essentially. There were 2 students who were just kind of standing there and I heard them speak Cantonese, so I was like, oh, you guys speak Cantonese? Because I grew up speaking Cantonese with my parents. And so they're like, oh yeah, this is our first time here, like we're just here to observe and shadow. So I was like, oh, okay. So I wanted to learn more about the school and ask them about their experience, but I realized that since it's their first time, they couldn't really provide me much input. So then later on, 5 other students come and the teacher's like scolding and kind of like yelling at the students like, oh, start doing this, do that. Like, so one person did my nails and one other student did my feet. And the teacher was kind of like berating the students in the sense that she said this in Mandarin, but it's like, oh, you didn't remember the steps on the book, like you have to do this step before this, and etc, essentially. And so it was just interesting hearing like how the teacher telling the students like, you have to do this step first, do that. The girl who did my nails, she had a hard time, was trying to drill down my press-ons, even though I guess I told the teacher that it was press-ons. So I was a little bit worried. So I was kind of telling them like, oh, you can just like probably pop it off or whatever. I know it's like, it's not good for your nails necessarily, because if you pop it off, you're kind of like tearing a little bit like of the skin or barrier on the top of your nails. But I was afraid that, it was a press-on nail. I don't think she needed to drill it since it's a press-on, it's not like a gel nail. So anyways, there was like some confusion about that. So whatever, like in the end, okay, they removed my own nail polish. But I would say the part where I did not like the most was that accidentally cut me and I started to bleed. When you're doing the manicure, you have to clean the nail, push the skin back, and etc. So essentially, I guess when she was like trimming the skin near the cuticle, she cut me. Like it hurt, and I told her, oh, it hurts. And then after that, I started bleeding, and it was too late. But yeah, it just kept on bleeding and bleeding, and she wasn't really sure what to do. I mean, she put pressure, and then after that, she put like some alcohol on it. But then after that, she asked someone to grab the teacher, etc. And the teacher's like trying to make it stop bleeding. And at that point, I was kind of like, ooh, like it already hurts and really stings. My ring finger right here. They cut it right there. And so I was like, you know what? I don't want you to touch it more because it just hurts in general. So I was just kind of like, okay, just leave it alone. Like don't do anything. So I was like, okay, I was a little bit bummed. But then again, this is a beauty school and you're paying a fraction of the price to come here and have them practice on you essentially. The teacher, the students would kind of argue a little bit because the students were like, oh, why are you guys charging so much for the fees in terms of like the materials? But then the teacher's saying like, oh, you know, we gotta provide towels, facility, utilities, lights like that. And the teacher was saying like, oh, we're actually really cheap if you compare us to other beauty schools. So moving forward, for my toes, I initially told them I wanted just the pink. I didn't really expect much because I didn't really know these people. They're just still students in training. So I just asked for pink color. And this is what they look like. They're actually quite cute. And so the thing is, they added on these hearts because I guess the girl who was helping me do my toenails, she was like, oh, since her skin's so white, it looks kind of plain with just pink. So then she helped me draw on these white hearts. So I was really happy and grateful for her. For the girl who helped me with my fingernail, I'm quite impressed. Basically, this is the design. So yeah, this is the finger that got cut. But like she was on WeChat looking through like a video that imitated brownish themed color. And I think she did a pretty good job in terms of like the design and whatnot. And she was asking me like, oh, what gem do you want? And I feel like she was asking me about my opinions and what I thought, even though I went in without a lot of expectations. And in the beginning I told them like whatever design you wanted to do, just because I feel like I was pretty open and easy to the design. So yeah, she finished doing my nails, and then after that she called the teacher, like, make sure everything's okay. And the teacher was like, oh, it's good. And then they wanted to take pictures because I guess they want to put it in their portfolio. And then so like a bunch of other people helped try to hold the lighting, get better angles. And they're like, oh, try to hide the band-aid of your finger. And then this other girl commented how my hands were really white and how it didn't really bring out the nail polish color. And they're saying how, oh, I had like really nice fingers or whatnot. And so yeah, after she helped me finish that, she was like, oh, after your nail on that ring finger heals, you can come back next week or in a couple days and I can fix it for you. And I thought that was really nice of her. And then she asked to exchange WeChat, so I guess I could contact her to let her know when I wanted to come back and she would help me fix it for free. So in summary, I do think, yes, like she cut me here and it hurt, but I feel like she learned her lesson. And she told me like, oh, you're the first person that I did that. And she said that my skin was really like soft. I guess like most people have like rougher cuticles. Probably come back next week to get it fixed. And in terms of pricing, wow, it's so cheap. For my hands, for my manicure, it was $15 for my gel manicure and $20 for my pedicure. So it was a total of $35 for these like really nice looking design and gem like manicure and a pedicure. I wanted to tip them well, and the teacher encouraged me to tip them, and I want to give them encouragement to pursue this because I know it's like a tough job. Like I remember a comment the pedicure student made was like, after she finished, she's hunching down doing my toes, she was like, ever since I started doing this, my back hurts. And it's a tough job. You have to like be very meticulous and also try to provide good customer service, I guess. I tipped them $30 in total, $50 for the girl who helped me with my manicure and $15 for the girl who helped me with my pedicure. I think I would go back there again. They were good for the price. Thank you so much for listening to my experience at VR Beauty Academy. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you have any stories or experiences going to a beauty school. See you next time. Bye.